So let's see the importance of this verse, why this is like, showing. Just I want to give the gist of this verse, but to explain word for word this verse, it takes hours too. But let's see, like at least we will get what is the behind this verse. So it's saying, Helo dhunita kedaya. Kedaya means, see, it's very easily drives away the lamentation of the conditioned souls. So what is that one? The mercy of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So how it's going to be drives away, we will just discuss that one first. So all the conditioned souls in this material world are struggling for the, to get rid of the miseries. So they try their best to get free from the miseries, but the conditioned souls efforts and everything never going to success, because one's happiness is the misery for others. One may think that is happiness, but it's going to be misery for the others. So that is the thing, like we can't get the complete happiness in this material world. So but the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which gives the happiness, is the chanting of the holy names, and he is the bestowing the highest stage in the bhakti, that is prema. So he is called as Mahavadhanyaya, so magnanimous personality. And what he bestows on the conditioned souls? Krishna prema pradhayate. So he is giving Krishna prema. So our sadhana, our spirituality practice is ultimately everything, every day, whatever we are doing, we aspire one thing, that is love of God. So that is the only thing we are aspiring. But that is Mahaprabhu is giving freely. He is like quoted in Shastras, Krishna prema pradhayate, bestows the Krishna prema on the conditioned souls. And how he is going to bestow? He is not going to check any condition or discrimination between one and another. So he is going to shower that mercy on anyone who is just inclined to know about him. So that is the one thing, like which is going to destroy all the miseries. How it's going to destroy? So by chanting, what is going to happen? The conditioned soul is going to get connect to the Lord. So by that one, what is going to happen? The soul is going to concentrate or meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord. So by this thing, he will gradually get free from the miseries. How he is going to get free from the miseries? Slowly the mind is going to cleanses. So the mind is going to see the reality, which is real and which is temporary. And the mind starts realizing, I am searching the thing which is not belong to this place. Like searching for something which is not belong to here is just waste of time. So that realization will come gradually by connecting the soul to the Supreme Lord. So this is how the example just I gave, the mind get cleanses gradually. Once the mind get cleanses, the soul is going to engage in the loving service of the Lord. When the soul is engaged in the service of the Lord, what is going to happen? So Krishna is the supreme attractive. So he is all attractive. And the conditioned soul, whoever connects to the supreme soul, like Krishna, he engages in activities. Those are the activities which we show our love towards Krishna. Whatever we hear, whatever we do chanting, or we are come to the temple or singing, whatever we do, that is the media we are showing our love to Krishna. So that service is going to make us to realize we are connected to the Lord. So that is the thing which we say daily sadhana. Sadhana is practice. Practicing our spiritual life is nothing but connecting to the Lord by doing some activities which are for the pleasure of the Lord, not self-motivation. For the pleasure of Lord, if we do connect the activities, the services which we are doing, that services are going to make us to realize where we are, what we are, where we are going, all these things. So these are the real assets of the human being. The assets which carry forwards birth after birth, wherever we are, in whichever condition we are, these assets are going to carry or comes with the soul eternally. So instead of behind the temporary, but it's not mean we need to leave all the temporary assets or something, but realizing that one, what is eternal, which are going to carry forward with me, concentrating on that one is important. So as one activity I can take, or one transcendental service I can take is chanting. So there are a lot of other services like for the pleasure of Lord we do, but I take as a chanting. So there is a verse in Skanda Puran which says the importance of the loving service is also is very highly quoted in the Ved and in all the scriptures. So what we are going to get back by doing these kind of services is important to think. Like wherever, whatever we do in material life, okay, if I do this activities, what I am going to gain, and what I am going to lose, like what I am going to lose by this doing this one. Same thing, by doing devotional service, we have to know what we are going to gain and how long it's going to come with me. So if you consider chanting in Skanda Puran, there is a verse, it says, Gokoti Danam Kagane Kragasya Prayagad Gangodaka Kalpavasaha Yajnayitam Meru Suvarna Dhanam Govinda Kirter Nasamam Satam Sher. So what it's saying, Gokoti Danam. Koti means some millions, like as here in India they use koti as a measurement unit as the number. So some millions of cows, go means cows. Go koti dhanam kagane grahane kagasya. On the eclipse day, if one gives some millions of cows as a charity, how much he will get? Just keep in mind, 3 steps it will come. Next, Prayaga Gangodaka Kalpavasaha. By reciting on the holy dhams, Prayaga, Ganga, where they meet, Kalpavasaha, for many kalpas. If one person is going to reside at the dhams, how much merit or pious or whatever benefits the soul is going to get. Second one. Third one, Yajnayitam Meru Suvarna Dhanam. By performing sacrifice, any kind of sacrifice, after the sacrifice in charity, Meru Suvarna Dhanam. Meru is the mountain, Suvarnam is gold. So who performs the yajna and gives in charity after the yajna, the gold, how much is equal height of the Meru mountain? If a person gives that much charity, these are the 3 cases, what is going to happen? Last line, Govinda Kirter na samam satam sher. The person who is chanting the Govinda's name, he is going to get more benefit than this. So you can consider the benefit of the chanting of the holy names. So imagine, we can't do all these previous 3 lines whatever they mentioned. Even it comes to the imagination in the Kali Yuga, we can't do all these 3. But when we chant the holy names of the Lord, Govinda Kirter na samam satam sher, it's not at all equal to the samam, means 100th part of that one. How much we are going to get by chanting, that is like more times equal to the previous 3 ones. So this is the one activity which we describe in devotional service. If we perform with love for the pleasure of the Lord, this is the result conditioned soul is going to get back. So in this way, there are a lot of verses quoted in the Puranas by glorifying the devotional service. Okay, so I learned here, like chanting I took and the benefits I explained, and by performing the transcendental loving service, the conditioned soul is going to connect to the Supreme Lord step by step. In that way, he is going to always meditate on the Supreme Lord, and as it is step by step process, the conditioned soul is going to slowly get rid of the material desires. How? Because any devotional activity is going to increase our taste, that is the higher taste. So normally in taste we compare, like I like this item less or something, but what does it mean? Means the taste of that item is inclined towards us is more. That's why in the same way in spirituality, any devotional service, the taste of the devotional service is higher taste. It means that when we perform any devotional service in spiritual life, that is the higher taste. Gradually that higher taste is going to destroy or vanquishes all the lower tastes in our life, like any kind of, like our kind of habits or which are not good, all the anarthas or whatever it's not good for us, those are the things drastically by the mercy of the Lord, by doing that devotional service, all the lower taste goes itself. When all the lower taste leaves from the conditioned soul, then the soul is going to be firm and determined in the devotional service. When we perform with determination the devotional service, how much we go into the deep of the bhakti, that much we go closer to the Krishna. So now we come to know the power of devotional service, the power of connecting to the Lord. But all these things are showering by the Mahaprabhu very easily, without seeing any condition. That's why this verse is saying, Lord of Dayas, He is ocean of mercy. That's why it says, O ocean of mercy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Means He is showering that mercy which is topmost in the bhakti. So there are 9 stages in bhakti. Shraddha, first faith. Next, sadhu sangha, association of the devotees. Anartha nivrutti, all the lower taste will go off by the bhakti. Then comes the nishtha. Then ruchi, asakti, bhava, prema. The prema is the last one which we are going to achieve if we go by rules, by process and everything. So, but Mahaprabhu is giving that prema directly. How He is giving? As He incarnated as a Karunavatara. So in Chaitanya Bhagavat it says both Gaurnitya are described as Ajanu Lambita Bhujau Kanakavadato Sankirta Naiva Pitarau Kamalaya Takshau Vishwambharau Dvijavarau Yugadharma Palau Vande Jagadgurau Karunavataro. So it described Karunavataro. What is Karuna? Karuna means He is a personification of mercy. So all other incarnations so far, they appeared and not yet showered this kind of mercy on the conditioned souls. But the speciality of the Mahaprabhu is, He is Mahavadanyaya, so magnanimous. Just turning little bit towards the Lord that is the thing. He like how Jagannath is wide open his eyes, like searching for the only positive things. At least little positive is there, he touches that one and he grabs that soul. Same way Mahaprabhu is like that. At least little inclined towards Him, He showers like a ocean of mercy on the conditioned soul. So that's what this verse it says. It's going to be destroy all the misunderstandings by any kind of scriptural discussions or anything, and it's going to give topmost rasa of conjugal love. The Mahaprabhu's mercy is going to give ones to realize their transcendental position, that is Jivera Swarupohoi Krishnera Nityadas. So we are going to realize we are all the servants of the Krishna. And what else is for? We know the Samadaya Madhurya Maryadaya. So He is going to release the Madhurya Rasa, what is there in Bhakti. That is the topmost rasa in the relationship between the devotee and the Lord. So the mercy of the Lord is very, very special privilege in this age of Kali for the conditioned souls. If one is going to any kind of thing like, disinterested or misuse or not paying attention, that is the biggest loss for the conditioned soul. That's what the scripture says. And as I said, the higher taste is going to destroy all the lower taste. This privilege is going to help us without any conditions, without any discrimination. Mahaprabhu is showering His mercy on all the conditioned souls. Okay. So as I have a time, 5 more minutes. So I want to describe one pastime without doing any pastimes, like it's not good. So I'll take one Shuklampara Brahmachari pastime. This is the best pastime I love always in Gaura Leela. So when Mahaprabhu travels like one place to another place, and he used to meet all the devotees, and whenever Mahaprabhu travels to one particular they come to know Mahaprabhu is coming there, everybody in that city they extended their invitations, please come to our home, please come to our home, like that. So one day what happened, Mahaprabhu went to one town and all the devotees gathered, and the program went good, and end of the program all the devotees they started asking the personal secretary of Mahaprabhu, and we want to invite, please give the dates, like that. And when this scene is going next to the Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu's chosen, like, loudly he said, I want to go to his house. Just pointed to one devotee. And that devotee is sitting very long back, like, behind crowd, and last line or something. Like he showed like this one, I want to go to his house. Then everybody got stunned, like, we are struggling here to get the time, but Mahaprabhu himself, he desired to go to his house. Then everybody started seeing who is the devotee, fortunate devotee. Then that devotee is called as Shuklambara Brahmachari. He is like he renounced everything, and he has a small hut, and he go for Madhukari every day, and he chants Gauranga's name, and he lives like very pious life. That time when Mahaprabhu said that one, and he just walked off. Mahaprabhu went off of the room. Then the personal secretary of Mahaprabhu went to that person and said, okay, tomorrow for lunch Mahaprabhu is coming to your home. So he decided. Then that person, he got bewildered, like all of a sudden, like Mahaprabhu comes, and he don't know, he became speechless, and he went to the house. His house is very, very short, tiny, like grass hut, and he don't have even floor also, it's like a mud floor. And he started thinking, when Mahaprabhu comes, how he will sit. He don't have any grains also to cook anything. So he started thinking, and he come to his external senses. It took time for that one to realize like Mahaprabhu is coming to his home. Then he went for Madhukari, he begging, like, he got on. Okay, if you can keep the. So then what happened? He went for begging, like, some grains. And you all know the Gruhasthas or whoever gives the grains, some may give good grains, or some may give like half good, half not, like that. So he gets all the Madhukari, he collects all the grains, and he started cooking, he came home and he has only one pot to cook that one, and he kept for the rice. Then the rice started cooking, and he don't know what to do with the rice. He only has the rice, and he started thinking, what can I serve to Mahaprabhu, like only rice is there. And he don't know, he was like, really he was motion, like, in ecstasy. At the same time, he has something, how can I serve, that is also it's there. Then he started thinking, and he has a small window in the kitchen, and he saw one banana tree in the garden, and he went to there, and there are no bananas for the tree, and he grabbed some bark of the banana tree, and he came to the inside the kitchen, like wherever he is cooking, no kitchen, only one room. So he came to the bar where rice is cooking, and he started, like, he just teared that banana bark and kept it to the rice. And by that time Mahaprabhu came, and he just walked in rush, and he came and he sat in the center of the home, and he started, where is Prasad? So this Shuklambara Brahmachari, like, no plate also, like he hardly eats whatever he has. But okay, he took the same plate where he used to eat, and he poured that same banana bark and rice into the plate, and with shivering hands, he can't able to speak to Mahaprabhu, but he loves Mahaprabhu so much. He chants, but no words. Then he took the plate, and with shivering hands, he come in front of Mahaprabhu, and he kept down in front of him. Then he saw him like this. Then he folded his hands, and he paid obeisances. He went off, and he stood like far, and he started watching. And with Mahaprabhu, like his servant also came, and Mahaprabhu he sat on the mud floor, and he started taking with his hand itself, like, he ate like one, twice, thrice, and he started crying. Mahaprabhu pouring tears in his eyes, and he's seeing the Shuklambara Brahmachari. He said one thing, in my life I never ever tasted this kind of prasad. So that Shuklambara Brahmachari went in ecstasy. He started crying. Hardly I gave rice and banana bark. Practically nobody eats in that combination. Okay, and the rice is not in good condition. I don't have any facilities to serve, but Mahaprabhu is liking that one, and he is crying. So what is going on between devotee and the Lord here? So it's speechless. the connection between the Shuklambar Brahmachari and the Supreme Lord, he never met him, but Mahaprabhu is the one who stays in the heart. And recently I heard in a class, so he stays in the heart like a lion. How the lion roars like a very like wild, like, you know, when lion roars, what happens? All the animals surrounding in the forest, by listening that voice, they flew, right? They run off. So in the same way, the devotee said in the class, the anarthas which are there in our heart, the unwanted things which we don't want, but still they are staying in our heart. When we say Hari Bol, we say a lot of times in the temple Hari Bol, right? When we say Hari Bol, that lion roars, like we have to roar like that. In that speech, the Hari Bol, the lion roaring, all that unwanted elephants which are staying in our heart, they are going to flew out of the heart. So that is the thing when we chant Gaura Hari's name or Hari Bol. In that mood, when we chant, all the anarthas are going to flew away. So now onwards, meditate this one. When we say Hari Bol, we have to say like anything. All that elephants has to go out of the heart. Okay? Hari Bol. So coming back to the story, so Shuklambar Brahmachari was watching Mahaprabhu was taking prasad, and he started crying. And by this story, what we can see is Mahaprabhu sees only the love behind the heart. That's it, right? So what's the connection between the Shuklambar Brahmachari did? He didn't done any kind of like, you know, only thing he connected sincerely with determination to the Supreme Lord. And he came to the program. He sat back. He don't have access to go to the close to the Mahaprabhu too. But the thing is, Lord chose him. What made Lord to choose that person is the sincere desire in the heart. I want to serve. Somehow Krishna will make that arrangements to get to engage the devotee in that service. So that's how the Shuklambar Brahmachari served the Supreme Lord directly. So this story always gives me a sense like of bhakti. So what is behind the bhakti is love. The love is important towards the connection to the Lord is important. When we connect to the Lord, that is how the Lord chooses the soul. So, but Mahaprabhu's case is like, you know, Karunavatar, as I said. So there are a lot of words in the like mercy, compassion, love, audharya, karuna. So topmost in all these words are karuna. So audharya is the one who has chosen Mahaprabhu. I know Mahaprabhu, you are the supreme, you are the ocean of mercy, please shower your mercy. When the conditioned soul begs, that is audharya, like, you know, from the heart, like the Lord showers his mercy. But karuna is, he chooses literally the conditioned souls. He goes out for the Nagar Sankirtan. He Krishna, see, when mother is taking care of the kid and mother calls for the kid, come and eat, the kid don't come. She calls like twice, thrice, no. But what happens next? Mother takes the plate, go where the child is and ask him to eat. If the child is not eating, I don't want, she tries to feed, right? She tries her best extent to make the child to eat prasad. Same thing. The Mahaprabhu is the one, he is trying his best to enter into the hearts of the conditioned souls. He is searching for that opportunity. So you can see the leelas like one by one. Where is the scope, like where Mahaprabhu didn't go? He came to the streets, he chanted, and if any obstacles comes, he challenged Kaji. He said that no kirtan in the city. No, he decided evening we are going for the kirtan, take Mrudangas. So he challenged, he want to go to the mission souls. So that is how the mother is, right? Even the mother health is not good also, she wants to kill her child, right? She goes at any extent, she can take herself most the pain with the child, to take care of the child, right? Even someone scolds her, you are not doing this work, okay, I'll do later, but I have to feed my child. She can go any extent. Same thing, Mahaprabhu can go any extent to shower the mercy of his mercy on the conditioned souls. So there are a lot of pastimes. When we go to Chaitanya Charitamrita, all are this kind of pastimes only. When we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, definitely by reading whole the complete Chaitanya Charitamrita, the soul is going to cry at least 2 minutes or at least fraction of seconds. So full stories are love, compassion, how to live, especially for the devotees, how to mingle with the devotees, how to behave with the devotees, how to serve, how to please the Lord, okay, how to get rid of any anarthas. All this story, each has each pastimes. So each and every pastime is revealing from Chaitanya Charitamrita how to live in bhakti, how to get connected to the Lord, how to make ourselves with determination to love the Lord, right? We love our family members, but some extent, like, there is a condition. That's why we are conditions with the material natures. But how can we develop unconditional love, which we ever tasted? We don't know what is unconditional love because we haven't tasted. So without taste, we can't get that one, right? So how can we get that one? Only by the listening. We don't know the definition. We don't know the feel of unconditional love. We don't know feel of the unalloyed love. But reciting by the Acharya's mercies, by glorifying the devotees, by listening the glories, definitely one day we are going to taste that unalloyed devotee service. We don't know, really I'm telling, we all, maybe, I don't know, I don't have any taste or I don't know the definition of unalloyed devotional service, but recitation, connecting to the devotees, taking shelter of Prabhupada, is going to reveal with his mercy. That is called as mercy. Mercy is the one which flows unconditionally. It won't require any condition, qualification. When we do that kind of bhakti sincerely, with that sincerity, even we don't know whether we are going to do that sincere service, keep that desire in the heart. I want to be sincere. That desire is going to bless by the Supreme Lord. That kind of mercy flows with Gauranga Mahaprabhu. That's what they are, the special Gauranga. That's how as compared to all the other incarnations, all the personalities, these are the personalities who are connected to the conditioned souls very, very closely. Ram, Krishna, everybody came, but they are not connected, they are not mingled like came to the home and sit next to you. No. So these Gauranita are the one who came as a personifications of mercy, Karunavatara. They entered in the hearts of the conditioned souls. They lived with them. At Mahaprabhu pastimes, you have all seen. They sat with the devotees and they ate. And even Krishna also ate in Vrindavan. Krishna is special. Vrindavan is area only special for Krishna. Krishna never ate like that in Dwarka and other things. The special love of Krishna is only Vrindavan. But Gauranita is wherever he goes, right? Wherever he goes, Puri, Navadvip, wherever he goes, he lived like that. And he made the circumstances always chant. Not only human beings, animals, Jharkhand forest pastime. All the animals chanted by the mercy of the Gauranga Mahaprabhu, right? There is no discrimination, animals or humans, no. Anybody get connected to the Lord, chanted glory, connected to the Krishna. That is the word which Mahaprabhu preaches. No discrimination, no condition, and we are all roaming in this millions of births in this human cycle, repeated birth and death, and no condition. Okay, I don't have any preconditions, I haven't born in this family or I haven't been like this and all. No conditions. Wherever you are, just simply start chanting of the holy names. That's it. That is the starting point. Any work, even in material life we do, starting problem is big, starting is the big problem. I want to go to the gym, I want to reduce. Starting. Hardly we start one day, then go back. No, not today, not today. So this is not going to last. This is not going to be happen in the spiritual life because you are not working with the things or missions. You are working with the Supreme Lord. You are contacting by chanting with the Supreme Lord. You are connecting to the Supreme Lord, who is staying as a Paramatma within your heart. Whatever your desire, your chanting is there, the reciprocation is there definitely with the Lord. So that is the thing. There is a difference between material activity and spiritual activity. The reciprocation is there in spiritual activity, but we can't perceive due to our impurities. One stage will come in our sadhana. One day definitely we are going to realize the love of the Supreme Lord is reciprocated so many times in our lifetimes without knowing this. We can realize even so for each and everyone here, they might have realized God had helped me so many times. By this time, like I would be like lot of situations God is helping. He is behind us, He is within us, He is next to us, always He is with us only. But only thing is our sincerity, our determination is important to sense the reciprocation of the Lord. So as Lord Gauranga is special, praying to the Lord Gauranga, let Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu shower all their mercies in all of us to engage in His service eternally. Okay, I'll stop here. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I'll take for 2-3 minutes. Then after that one we'll stop. Any questions or realizations? Any corrections, please? That's why it's challenging. 30 minutes Gauranga Mahaprabhu class. It's really challenging. I can't take one pastime. I can't take anything. That's why I took only one verse. And I started Helo Dunita. Then that's enough. Only one verse, one phrase from the verse I spoke like this. But can't able to complete the verse also. Yes. It's there, Prabhu. Yeah, I heard from the devotee, but I haven't read in Chaitanya Charitamrita, but I think it's from Chaitanya Bhagavata. Yeah, it's not this, just name is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Shuklambara Brahmachari comes, but in Bhagavata it's there, like Chaitanya Bhagavata, full description of the story. Thank you. Yes, Mataji.
Hearing you say clearly that as long as the devotee has sincerity, they are always with us. That is recognized, and whatever deity we call on is always beside us.
Yeah, but it depends on the like our way of thinking thinking too. Like there should not be the self motivation. That is the important thing. Only thing, as you said, the TT is okay, the difference is there, but when we don't have the self motivation in our service, then that's going to be help for our bhakti.
I think that's the idea of sincerity.
Yes.
Sincerity
Okay, thank you all. Wish you again very happy birthday. Hare Krishna. Viva.
Good night.